Hi friends, Ms Sheri here from the Forks branch of the YMCA. Today we're going to talk a little bit about things that you might see when you look up at the sky. So some things that I see, I'll give you a second to think about some things that you see when you look up at the sky. So some things that I see blue, because the sky's blue, right? I see clouds. So when I look up, I see the color blue. I see clouds. During the day, I also see the sunlight. I'll put this, I see the sunlight, but I also see the sun. The sun is what makes everything bright, right? What about at night? Do you see the same things during the day as you see at night, or are they different? They are different, that's right. During the day, you have the daylight, right? The sun shines and it's bright out. Now at night, the sun sets and something else comes out. All right, so what are some things that you see at night? The moon, that's right. The moon kind of trades places with the sun at night. So the sun is out during the day and the moon is out at night. Are there anything else or any other things that you see at night? Sometimes they twinkle. Some of them are bright, some not so bright. Stars. That's right. Now, depending on the weather, sometimes you see stars, sometimes you don't. Now, if it's cloudy, like the clouds are some things that are there during the day and at night. So if it's a cloudy day and a cloudy night, the stars you might not see. But if it's a clear day and there's hardly any clouds out, they might stay away at night. And then if it's a clear night, you will see those stars. Sometimes you'll see a lot, sometimes you won't see too many. It all depends. But if it's a clear night, sometimes if you're away from a lot of lights too, like I live next to a gas station, so it's usually pretty bright and hard to see the stars because I have a lot of the light near me. It's called ambient light. It means just light, like from houses, from street lights, all that stuff. But because I'm surrounded by that, it makes it hard for me to see the stars. But say you have a really big backyard and you live out in, maybe by a farm. Farms have lots of land and not that many lights. So if you would go out to a farm maybe, look up at the sky on a clear night, you'd probably see a lot of stars, a lot more than you might think are up there. But there are a lot. So we talked about the different things that we see in the sky. So there are different things that we see during the day. I'll make that a little sun. During the day, and other things that we see only at night. Do some little moons. Now, at night, you're going to see stars. The stars, they're not ever hiding, but the sun, if you've ever looked up at the sun on accident or anywhere near it, you might find yourself doing this, or wearing sunglasses or wearing a hat, because the sun is very bright. So during the day, the sun, which is also a star, but it's very close to us, it's very bright, so it doesn't let you see all those stars. But at nighttime, when the sun is taking its nap and the moon comes out, you can see those stars. So with seeing everything in the night sky, the only downside is that most of those things are very far away. Have you ever touched the sky? You can try, you can jump really high, you can stretch, but the sky is so high and all of the things we see in it are so very far away. But there is a tool that you can use to see and observe the things in the night sky. Not so much during the day because the sun's very bright, you might hurt your eyes. But at night, you can see the moon and the stars by using this. Does anybody have any idea what this might be called? It's a telescope. Now, in some of the classrooms at school, you may have seen a microscope, which is smaller and lets you see things that are very tiny. But if you look up at the sky, you'll notice that they look tiny because they are so far away. So a telescope is something that is used to be able to see those things better. So it's hard for you to be able to see, but you would look in right there. So if I would look in here and I would look up at the night sky, I might actually have to move this, but you would look up, yeah, here we go. So you would look in here and you would aim it. Now this has, if you look at this thing right here, you put it on what's called a tripod. It's where you place it, and so that way you can angle it and it won't move. Like if I'm looking at it right now, my arm's gonna move, but if you put it on that, I have not managed to locate that part. But if you look through here and you look up at the night sky, like, ooh, like right now, it's very bright because I caught a cloud. You can't see in there. But I looked out and I definitely got a cloud. So it's very bright, so it's hard for me to see because it's cloudy today. So a lot of the light from the sun is reflecting. It's very bright. But telescope, in order to see the moon, some stars, sometimes even galaxies. You'll see some really cool swirls, but you need a telescope to be able to see that stuff. All right, so a telescope allows you to see things that are very far away or in space. Hi friends, I'm back. So now that we know what a telescope is and what a telescope does, I've brought a little friend with me here today that looks like one of our friends that is up in the night sky. Can you think of what it might be? It is the moon. All right, so we'll see if he lights up for us. Oh, there we go. All right, so it's hard to see because the moon's kind of bright right now. There we go. So this, if you were to have that telescope, is what you might see on the surface of the moon. So you can see it's not all bright white like you might see at nighttime. There are different patches of gray, and I know you can't feel it, but it's very bumpy. There's some little craters in it, there's some bumps, and there's some dark spots. Sometimes if you look up at the night sky, if you look really close, you might be able to see some of those dark spots.